We are wrestling.
On your knees, wrestling fans, and then remember to tuck your head in for the 10 greatest powerbombs of all time. The move was originally invented by wrestling deity Lou Thesz many years ago when wrestling was still in black and white. However, he was a bit before my time, so he's not actually on this list of legends that used the powerbomb as a finisher. I do remember seeing my first ever powerbomb when I switched on WWE Superstars for the first time as a kid in 1992, and what I saw amazed me. Psycho Sid was in the midst of apparently murdering a jobber by tossing him head under heels from the sky to the ring. I immediately knew this was going to be the sport for me. If it was allowed for a giant man to throw a much smaller man from the sky to the ground without getting arrested, what else was I going to see on this television programme? Okay, let's kick our list off then, and we'll start with Ultimo Dragon. You'll notice many of the men on this list are quite big or tall, as you would expect them to be, having to haul other men up over their shoulders. Ultimo Dragon was, and still is probably, I haven't seen him for a while, 5'8", and that's okay for a Japanese wrestler that has mostly stayed within his weight class throughout his career, meaning that he can perform his incredible running powerbomb on such unsuspecting victims as Rey Mysterio, as you can see right here. What a show-off Ultimo Dragon is. He's like, I can do a powerbomb and I can run at the same time. Kevin Owens next, and he's a really sneaky man. I know this because of how he's modified the less than humble powerbomb to work even more in his favour. Not content enough with throwing his opponent through the air like a discarded beer barrel, Kevin Owens' pop-up powerbomb comes out of nowhere, giving his victim no time to anticipate it. Oh yeah, and he keeps doing it to guys on the edge of the apron, as if that wasn't bad enough. Now, when I used to buy my wrestling magazines as a kid for an extortionate price at the local shop, I'd race home to consume all of the WWE and WCW news and interviews inside those pages. Then I would turn to the 6 pages at the back of the magazine that covered the mystical world of Japanese wrestling. Jushin Thunder Liger would appear on those pages all the time, and I would sit there wondering whether I would ever get to see him wrestle for real. When I finally did get to see him wrestle, I was in awe. Not only in part because of his devastating variation on the powerbomb. While he didn't invent the move, he certainly popularised it and showed how it could be modified to catastrophic effect simply by sitting out. It's time! It's time! It's Vader bomb time! What a specimen Big Van Vader was to our great sport in the 90s. One big scary dude who decided to invade younger viewers of WCW Pro's nightmares as he lumbered down to the ring in that monstrosity. Vader likes to use the patented Vader bomb, which is actually a turnbuckle splash completely unrelated to the powerbomb. But then he also likes to mess around with a traditional powerbomb, where he throws you away like a discarded pork bone at the local buffet. What an awesome faction the Shield were, a team that kicked ass, took names, looked cool as hell, and at times really looked unstoppable. The triple powerbomb was perfect for them, especially when they were going around picking on other superstars or isolating members of tag teams. Taking a powerbomb looks painful enough without having the power of 3 on top. And then there's the added insult of having 3 men standing over you gloating, instead of the usual set menu 1 after taking the move. I think powerbombs should come with a warning on the pack. Please use responsibly. Put in the hands of a lunatic like Sid Vicious is asking for trouble, really. Sid Vicious once said to Kevin Nash in WCW, "You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do." And that would explain why Sid kept on using different variations of the powerbomb as his finisher throughout his career. It must be really difficult to remember how to wrestle when you've only got half a brain. Mike Awesome was another man who used different versions of the powerbomb as a finisher. Unlike Psycho Sid, however, he was aware of his surroundings. The original Awesome Bomb was spectacular on its own, up on the shoulders for maximum distance to fall, but then he starts doing it on the apron, and then he starts doing it while he's running, and running on the apron, and an avalanche top rope version, etc, etc. Mike Awesome's version of this finisher is definitely a contender for the coolest, but he's just beaten by the bomb belonging to the next superstar. BigSexy gives off the aura of not really giving a crap about you, at least until the moment he's about to finish you off with his patented jackknife version of the move. The former Diesel is over 7 foot tall, so that's quite a long way down when he decides to release the jackknife and hurl his opponents through the mat. No doubt after being on the receiving end of this version of the powerbomb, you'll be left feeling like you've been in a semi-truck pile-up. When Batista delivers his bomb, he goes to the ground and sits down for maximum stress and tension on his opponent's back and neck, and it's super easy for him to get a cheeky pin at the same time. And that's the genius thing about the Batista bomb, it truly is the evolution of the move that everyone should adopt. Immediately after receiving the bomb, Batista is in the perfect position to score a pinfall win should he have suitably softened you up beforehand. And finally, yes, it's the Undertaker, yes, it's the last ride. A man that should be respected and a finisher that should be feared. Undertaker's last ride powerbomb was a menacing addition to the pile driver in his arsenal. What sets Undy's powerbomb apart from the rest? Watch how he extends the arms, lifts his opponents above his head before discarding them across the ring. The move shows his incredible strength and utter disdain for those caught in his snare. So there you have it, the top 10 practitioners of powerbombs. Loads of wrestlers can do a powerbomb, but not just anyone can make it their own and into the elite league I've laid out here.
Are you ready?